Awesome. So welcome everyone to this live. This is going to be a good one. Hazel and I, we're going to talk about our zero to hero transformations, like literally how for me, it started about 1.5 years ago. I was a college student still in my senior year of college. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. All my peers, they were going off and applying for good internships at, big four. No idea what I wanted to do with my life. All my peers, they were going off and applying for good internships at, big four. Okay, that was weird.
That's fine. You could just turn off, just close the browser.
Yeah, I don't know why that was playing there. Anyway, so we're good. I was saying that all my peers, they were applying to internships and I didn't because it didn't excite me. But at the same time, I was like, well, what do I do now? I need to start making income, right? I can't just keep on feeding off of my parents. And so I was lost. I was working maybe for $10 per hour as a waitress in a Korean restaurant. And I desperately wanted a way to build financial abundance at an early age. I didn't want to wait until I was 40, 50 years old to then retire and then enjoy my life for the last 20, 30 years. So I think it was really a miracle that I stumbled upon my first mentor. His name is Richard Yu, and his story, because he also built his business in college and he transformed his life through the power of habits. And so seeing him go from where I was back then, which was directionless, huge procrastinator, distracted, just terrible habits, go from that to then running a 6-figure business, making his first 800K and helping, I think, 800 students all over the world in just 1 year, 1.5 years. That was so inspiring. And I just thought, I want to become like him. So that's when I made my first investment, 500, and then mastered those habits. And then after 5-6 months of execution, just every single day, putting my head down, working hard, staying consistent, I saw massive changes. My confidence shot up. I could finally speak in front of a crowd. Before it would make me dead nervous. Like literally, I would shake, my heart would be pounding, things like that. My social anxiety, it faded away. And I was getting things done 2 times faster. I was spending way less time working and just seeing better grades, enjoying more things I never got to do before, doing all sorts of activities, extracurriculars. And I thought I have to share this with other people. There's so many people who use this transformation too. And that's when the bigger investments came, right? Into business mentors. And so it was 4K. And that was like the most nervous I've ever been. Because think about it, I was saving up $10 per hour. And so it took me a long time to get there. But when I did, I was like, I got to do it now. It's now or never. So I took the leap, went all in, built my coaching business. And yeah, now we've helped over 100 entrepreneurs and professionals forever transform their lives through high performance. So it's truly like a dream come true. Yeah. What about you, Hazel?
That's great. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for this chance. It was great to be here with you. I always see you on your Facebook, and you always are motivated all the time. And when I see you, you are so motivated. You motivate me more. So I'm sure it will motivate your audience and the people you work with more. So it's great to be here with you. This is Hazel Amin. Hazel Amin. I'm Kurdish from Kurdistan region of Iraq. I was born and raised there, but currently I'm living in Dubai and in Spain, UK, just based on my business. So I'm so happy to be here with you. If you want me to talk about my story is long and sad story. So that's why I posted something like a few days ago. I said, mine is long and sad story too. Just pick yourself back up and get to work. I don't like those people who use their story for themselves to play victim. No, your story should always motivate you and push you forward, not to play the victim. If I talk about my story, it all started when I was 17 years old. When I was born, and I was born in a small town in Iraq, in north of Iraq, which in that town, everyone was like so, let's say, disappointed of life. The reason why it was like that, because it has been bombarded by Iraqi regime back to 1988. And people there didn't believe in change. And when I was born and when I was raised there, grown up there, I was looking at people there and I said, this is not the life I want to live. I started working and back to that time when my parents arranged a marriage for me with my cousin. And then I wanted to come out of that marriage because I didn't want that marriage. I didn't want to marry. And that was so hard for me because I was in a very close society. I was a small town. And in that town, in that place, if you want to get out of a situation like that, it's like a big shame for the family and everyone there, because you are looked at like a pride or something like that. You know, you can't do something, you can't disobey your parents. It's very hard. It's very, very tough to decide to disobey something that your parents tell you. So they did that I knew that this is not what I want. So I decided to come out of it. It took me a lot of time, a lot of courage, a lot of energy. I lost around like 18 kilograms of my weight. I was diagnosed with a lot of diseases. Until I had the courage to do that. I lost myself. From the very beginning, I decided to make them happy with the life, because I didn't want to disobey them. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make them happy. So I said, yes, okay, that's fine. But then I realized that by making others happy, I'm losing myself. I'm not directing my life to the point that I want to direct my life. I'm living someone else's life. I'm achieving someone else's dream. I'm achieving someone else's, goal. So I said, no, this is not the life I want. So I came out of the marriage, but facing the family, facing society by that time, when you are 18, 19 years old, was very, very hard for me. It was very tough. So I was very, very young. I decided even to kill myself 2-3 times. But I remembered one word that one of the professors told me when I decided to come out of marriage. I was 19 and I was in college. I was in university, I was third stage of university. I remember one day I was in my exam, and I don't know where that professor came. I've never seen him. Can you believe that? I've never seen that professor in my lifetime. He came to the class and he was there while I was taking the exam. He looked at me and he pointed to me and he said, "You." I said, I just said, "Me?" He said, "Yes, you." He said, "You are going through some hard time right now, but one day you will be very successful person in this country and in the world." And by that time, I had no idea what he was talking about. I was like, what is he talking about? I started taking the exam. I failed in the exam, by the way. Yeah, exactly. So by that time, I was going through a hard time, and I decided to come out of the marriage after that. I tried to kill myself 3 times. And the last time I said, I'm going to do it because I don't want this life. If I can't do what I want in this life, I don't want to leave it. So I just remembered his word, and I was like, wait, if you give up on your life right now, you will never achieve it. But if you don't, you still have 1%, even if it is 1%, you still have a chance to do it. 1% is not 0%. It is something. You can maximize it. You can work on it. So I didn't give up on it. I started facing family, facing society and everything, everyone. Then I started changing my own life by changing my own habits. And then by investing in myself, I started working in, you said you worked in a restaurant or a cafeteria, right?
Yeah, restaurant.
Yeah, so for $10 per hour, right? I was working from the very beginning, I was working for $3 per hour. And then I worked for another place for $5 per hour. And then after that, I started working in university, and it was like $15 per hour. Even though that was a very good chance for me to get a lot of connections and get a lot of things done, but it was like not the life I want. That was a 9-to-5 job. Doing the same thing every day, that's not what I want to do. Achieving the same goal every day, every month, no, that's not what I want. I knew that that's not what I want. But looking backward, I know everything I have been through was a dot on my map and got me here. So I'm very grateful for everything I've been through. So this is what I say. Don't use your story as a victim, like to play the victim. Use your story to encourage you, to motivate you to move forward, to go forward and do whatever you want to do. So yeah, that's my story. And I started my business, my first business, which was Forex trading when I was 26. Yes, by 2018, it was a company. And then I started my coaching business by 2019, by the end of 2019 and 2020, let's say. And yeah, here I am. And I started my third business, which was in the IT and consulting company in Spain last month. I'm so excited to start another one, which I am about to do. So yeah, here I am. I
That's
was there
insane.
and I'm here. All happened by changing my habits. And
Yeah,
it's not invest.
absolutely. Yeah, I can only agree with that, Hazel. I had no idea about like all the pain behind your story. I think that's at the same time, like I'm sorry to go through that, but at the same time, we both know that, as you said, every single dot on that map, that's what got you to where you are today. And
And
without those struggles, most likely you wouldn't be here, right? Maybe you would
yeah,
have for a life back where you were born.
everyone
Um,
tells me, yeah, when they hear my story, they say, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, I'm not sorry because I'm very happy. I've been through that. If I go back by time to 100 times, I would choose the same thing because that will bring me to this point. Yeah.
Incredible. That's an incredible message about how pain, suffering sometimes it builds you into a stronger person, the person you need to be to start achieving the level of success you want, right? So then I'm curious. You mentioned that you started making changes because of what the professor told you. And I think a lot of people today, it's like they're tired of their job too. They're tired of doing the same thing every day. They want to get out, but they don't know how, or they're afraid. They're always on the border, right? Should I stick to something I'm comfortable with, something that's safe, something that pays me a stable income, or should I take that leap into an uncertain future, starting my own business, right? And personally, I can say, please take the leap, but let's share like the habits that, let's say, gave us the confidence to take that leap, because I think it's not like a one day decision, right? It
Yeah.
definitely is building up to. So what were some of the habits that you changed first?
The first ever habit that I changed was morning routine, which is the
Yeah.
most important one for me. Morning routine. The reason why morning is very effective if you change it. I remember once I heard Steve Harvey and even Denzel Washington said, if you can control the first 10 to 20 minutes in your morning, you can control your mood, your temper, your day. You can control your energy the entire day. And if you can control your day from controlling your first 10 to 20 minutes of your morning, come on, if you can control one day, you can control 2 days. If you can control 2 days, you can control your life, right? So that's why I think it's very important to change your morning routine. So I started from when I heard that, I said, I have to change my life. And
Yeah.
if this works for me, yes, let me do that. So I started changing my morning routine. I started changing my life. And that really helped me to change my life. I started waking up so before that, I was waking up by around like, let's say 8 to 9 a.m. in the morning. But then I changed that to 7, step by step to 7, and then to 6. And then nowadays I'm waking up 5:30 in the morning every day, 5:30 a.m. in the morning. And I changed my morning routine by waking up early. The reason why it's very important to change your morning routine is because very fresh energy you can get from nature. If you want to meditate, if you want to exercise, you can get a very fresh energy in the morning. And no one needs your attention in the morning. If you are a mom, let's say there are a lot of mom entrepreneurs, outside there. And the reason why they procrastinate, the reason why they say, okay, they are not achieving their goal is because they have kids and they want attention. They have their husbands, so that is a problem for them. They want attention. So if you want to achieve your goal, what I recommend, the first thing, wake up early in the morning. Everyone is asleep. No one needs your attention. And start. That's the first thing. And what you have to do in the morning, it's very important to do. What do you do in the morning? Not just waking up in the morning. What you are going to do in the morning. So the first thing I would recommend is to actually do not touch your phone for the first 20 minutes in your day. Don't touch your phone. The reason why I think it's very important to not touch your phone in the first 20 to 30 minutes in your day is because, okay, who would want to, I heard Jay Shetty say this. He said, who would want 100% a person in your room? Do you want to 100% in your room every day in the morning? When you wake up? No, you don't want that. But why would you allow 100 notifications on your phone? It distract your morning, distract your day. You have 100, you wake up in the morning and you see 100 notifications on your phone. If you click on one, you go to the second and third, and that will distract your morning and your energy and your power, but even your goal. So do not touch your phone for the first 13 minutes in your day. That's the first thing.
I totally agree.
Yeah, start by meditating for 10 to 15 minutes every day, which is very important to calm your mind down and to, balance your energy. 10 minutes to 15 minutes meditating every morning, and then daily confirmation affirmations. Tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna have a great day today. If you wake up every day and say, oh my God, another day, if you start with tasks, like if you look at your tasks, things that you have to do, and you start this way, you are going to give your mind an instruction. You have decided to give your mind an instruction, and your mind cell says, okay, yeah, Hazel gave us an instruction that this will be a very bad day. So your mind gives instruction to your body, and that's how you feel it. The entire day you feel very tired. You don't like to do anything. But if you wake up every morning and tell yourself, okay, this is going to be a great day, I'm going to achieve what I have in front of me today, I will be making $10,000 this month. Say it. I have 10. Yeah. Say I'm gonna make $10,000 this month, just like you are making it, because you are inviting things to your life if you say it. So this is very important.
I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, oh, sorry. I can definitely relate to a lot of that. And I'd love to hear from our audience, actually. Maybe we can just get some engagement. Like, who here actually has a morning routine right now? Just curious. If you have a morning routine, go ahead and type me or yes. If you don't, go ahead and type no. There's no shame to this, right? You can always add this in. That's why we're having this conversation, so we can help you start building an effective morning routine. So can you see the comment section, Hazel? Can you see it right now?
I can see there's someone said yes. There's Rose Sanmar, okay. I think.
Hey, what's up, Rose? Good to see you.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah. So Rose, actually good friend. We did a training together for an audience mainly based in Mexico just a few days ago. It was very successful. So appreciate you coming on. Hey, Rose, do you have a morning routine? I'm pretty sure you do, right?
Okay. Great. So what about you, Leah? Tell me about your morning routine. Like,
Absolutely.
Is this something that you recommend to your audience and to the people that work with you?
Of course.
Just like as a habit that they have to do, like they should do if they want to hit their goal?
Absolutely. I can definitely touch on this. Again, I believe it's the most important part of your day. Okay. If you can just master let's say, if you can just master 2-3 hours every day, let it be in the mornings, first thing every morning. And Hazel, you're on top of the comment section, right? Just like if you see anyone commenting, asking questions, feel free to interrupt. Sure. Just because I don't see it right now. But let's talk about how I implement my morning routines. And I'll tell you guys, like, full confidence, I think this is the #1 reason I was able to hit my first 10K in my online business as a coach within 30 days of starting. And this was while I had a full-time commitment as a student back in college. So this kind of equates to a full-time job, right? Like from 8 a.m., 9 a.m. every morning, latest 9 a.m., I had to be at college, attending classes, doing all my work for college. And so I didn't have that much time, but I still managed to scale rapidly. And how I did this was every morning, I mean, I'm not with you about 5 a.m., I must say, or 5:30. I really respect you for that. But I think the time's not so important, right? It's just that you wake up a bit earlier, a time that makes you feel comfortable, where you get up and you're able to focus, right? You're able to make the most of that time. So for me, it's 6:30. I've also tested this out. I've done 4 a.m., I've done 5 a.m., I've done 6:30. 6:30 just turns out really good for me. I'm really sharp. And then it only takes me half an hour to get ready. So girls, women out there, you also don't need hours to get ready in the morning, okay? Half an hour, 20 minutes, more than enough. So get ready, half an hour. I'll do my morning journaling quickly. I think that's very important to set intentions. And that's the only thing I'll do before I dive into my 3 most important tasks of the day. Okay, what are these 3 most important tasks, which I call MITs? Well, think about the things that tend to get neglected throughout your day because you get too busy, right? So let's just talk about like online coaches. We must be posting content. We must be prospecting, like anything you can think of to scale your business. I believe that is what us as entrepreneurs and also as professionals, if you're looking to get a promotion or if you're looking to start your own business, you should be working on yourself, on your dreams first thing in the morning, not what your professor or what your boss or what someone else tells you to do, right? Those things always get done and they can be left aside so you can focus on yourself first, or else you're never going to get to. Right. So that's what I say. Focus on your own goals first, even if it's just half an hour, 1 hour every morning. And then, so essentially I'd work on my business for 2 hours first every morning, 7 to 9 a.m. And then at 9 a.m., that's when basically all my friends would wake up. So I would start at the same pace as everyone else. And then I would get into college and do everything I needed to, right? For the working professionals out there, you can apply the same, right? Wake up an hour, 2 hours earlier than you start work. So you have that time in the mornings to work on your own dreams and then go to work.
So you are a college student at the moment?
I was.
Okay.
Yeah, 1.5 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And Hazel, I also really like the point you talked about of how when you wake up in the mornings, do you have positive or negative self-talk? Is it, yes, another day, I've got big goals today, I've got big things to do, or is it, oh, I want to sleep more, let me go back to bed. Oh no, I have to do this, that, and that, right? That matters so much, your mindset at the start of the day. So I literally say to myself every morning, first of all, I jump out of bed. I don't give myself time to hesitate about whether or not I should snooze and sleep a few minutes longer. That's a hard rule in my life, no snoozing. And also I like jump out of bed and I tell myself out loud, today's going to be a good day. I did it this morning and it felt amazing, right? Even if maybe subconsciously you don't feel it completely, just saying it, it's just like just smiling.
Yes, you are inviting it to your life. You are inviting happiness to your life when you say, yeah, it's gonna be a great day. I've heard, sorry for interrupting, I've heard one, it was like, I think Jay Shetty, he said, if you invite things as if it is in your life, say, okay, today is a great day. When you say today is a great day, you are inviting it to your life. When you say, I am healthy, I'm rich, I'm making money, I'm making $10,000 per month, say that as if you are doing it. So you are inviting it to your life. Sorry for interrupting again.
No worries. I mean, that's a great point, right? So exactly, inviting it in, even if you don't feel it in that moment, you can still tell yourself, hey, I'm going to make today a great day. And trust me, you will end up making it a better day, at least a better day, if not a great day, right?
Yeah, true.
So yeah, I couldn't agree more. Morning routine. What about any other habits, Hazel?
So you mentioned something great. You say, I wake up that time and I start working for 2 hours deep work, right? So I mentioned the same thing. I can recommend the same thing, but in another way. So what I do personally every day, I meditate. I have morning affirmations that I really recommend. And then some of the days I go and work out for 45 minutes every morning. Some of the days I do it in the afternoon, just like how I feel comfortable to do it. So it's not something like you have to do it in the morning. No, do it as you are comfortable, you know. That's how I do it. Some of the days I work out for 45 minutes in the morning. So if I don't do this, so I will be working for 290 minutes every morning. Just like you said, 2 hours deep work. Another habit that I recommend, this is what high performers do. If you are an entrepreneur, if you want to be a high performer, so this is what you have to do 290 minutes deep work, no distraction, no phone, no social media, just do what you have to do, just what you have in front of you. If you can't do 2 hours together, do like 1 hour 30 minutes and then take like 5 to 10 minutes rest, and then start doing another 90 minutes deep work. This is what high performers do. If you want to achieve what other people achieve in 15 hours every day, this is what you have to do. So what I recommend is doing like 290 minutes deep work in the morning after doing the other things that I mentioned. I promise you are going to achieve your goal by the end of the month and you hit $10,000. That's how I did it. And I'm sure that, yeah.
Yeah, 100%, right? It's again, first thing in the morning, you're focusing on the tasks that scale your business, not just what you have to do today, like not just the emails you have to reply today, or the, let's say, the live delivery, the live training or coaching call you have today, but focusing on activities that are going to scale the business tomorrow, a week down the line, a month down the line, right? So that's hiring for a lot of entrepreneurs. It's doing collaborations like this one, right? Planning that, reaching out to bigger influencers. It's posting really quality content that attracts eyeballs, things like this, right? So make sure that you don't get warped in that busy mode of just, doing a lot of things, but not really doing the right things. Always evaluate, am I really working on my most important tasks, or am I just being busy every day? And a good way to do this is, I know I'm skipping a bit now to the evening routine, but before I end my day every day, I'll just look at my plan, especially if it was a really overwhelming day and I want to cut down. I'll look at it and say, was there anything I could have just eliminated today, like not done because it didn't add much value?
Mhm.
Or could I have batched it together, do less of it? Maybe instead of doing it every day, I do it once per week, right? Like replying to emails or doing groceries, etc. Or could I have delegated this to someone else, to a team member? So if you ever feel overwhelmed as an entrepreneur, I just encourage you, look at every single thing you did today. Of course, you have to write it down on paper. That's the prerequisite that you planned before. Look at it and see if there's anything you could have not done, because I'm sure there is something. Yeah.
Yeah. So there are some other things that you can do. Actually, what I recommend, one of the other habits that
Yeah.
I recommend, and I'm sure that's one of those that you recommend to plan your day the night before. Is it something that you have done, I mean, in your routines, and is it something that you recommend to your audience too?
Sorry about that. I think we're back. Yep.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So what I said is that one of the important habits, one of those things that is very, very important for me personally, and I'm sure that's one of those things that you do, but I don't know if that's one of those things that you recommend for your audience and your clients too. Plan your day the night before. That's one of the most important things that I recommend, because, every business relies on decision making. Every business relies on decision making. And for every decision that we are going to make, we need time and energy. So the less time we spend on making decisions during the day, the more time we have to accomplish those tasks that we want to accomplish, right? We want to complete. So that's very important, to plan your day the night before. And if you are not wasting your time on those things, what to do? Okay, what I have to do next? So you have those things that you have to do during the day. So you don't waste time on what to do next. You have it in front of you. So you don't waste any time. You just you have made your decision the night before. These are those things that I have to do during the day. So I'm sure this is one of those things that you recommend too.
100%. Yeah, I could tell you guys, like, even though I call myself a high performer, it's ingrained in me. I'm sure you'd say that too, Hazel. On days where I've experimented with this, on days where I plan in the morning, the day of, even if it's first thing in the morning, versus on days when I planned the night before, there is a big difference. Yes. Or if I plan the night before, when I wake up, there's no hesitation at all. And I dive into it. Like I dive head straight into my tasks. Whereas if I don't, then I might think, maybe I should clean my desk quickly, or maybe I should, just check my phone quickly. Like even these thoughts will pop up just because I don't know what exactly I'm doing. So I couldn't agree more with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the next habit that, okay, let's say during the time that you are making $10 per hour, and then as compared to now, what are those things, other things that you have changed? Let's say habit.
Yeah. Well, actually, I want to talk about something else here. Okay. I want to talk about not necessarily a habit, you could call it a habit, but it's rather acquiring a high income skill. Because if I think about it, back then when I was earning $10 per hour, I simply did not have a high income skill. Therefore, I was earning $10 per hour. So how did I get out of that? Well, I started acquiring a high income skill, which was, for me, it was coaching. Right. Yeah, and coaching comprised of many things. It's marketing. You do your own, at the start, you do your own marketing. You learn appointment setting, which is also a high income skill. You can make 10K per month off that pretty easily. I have a good friend teaching people how to do that. It's closing. Closing is definitely one. I'd say probably one of the best in my opinion.
Yes,
Things like this, right? Work on
definitely.
these kind of skills. Maybe at the start to get a bit of cash coming in and invest in mentors, you might have
Mm,
to work a lower wage job, like working at a restaurant. But ultimately, you should be developing yourself in skills that are going to pay more down the line, right? So
that's so
find a
true.
high income skill and just focus on one at a time, then keep on building upon them. Because to hit 10K per month, yes, maybe you need one high income skill. To hit 20K per month, I believe you need more than one. And if you want to keep
True.
going, then you just keep on stacking those up,
That's
right?
true. That's so true. The reason why I think the reason why you, anyone who's watching this, even us, we needed to invest in ourselves. The reason why self-investment is so important to achieve your goal is that because you are hiring someone, you are working with someone that has achieved this in a longer
Yeah.
time. That was the same thing for me. I achieved my goal a longer time, changing my habits, even achieving what I say. For example, let's say 10K per month. That took me like around 3 to 4 years after
Mm,
starting my first business. Okay, that took me a long time, but now I know how to do that because that took me a long time to do it, but I didn't give up. Now I know I can teach people how to do that in a shorter term. So if you are investing in yourself, if you are hiring a coach, that doesn't mean you are like giving someone money to teach you something, just teach you something or a knowledge, give you a knowledge. No, you are buying someone else's mind and you are buying their
I
experience.
love that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
are buying their mind and their experience, what they have learned in 3 to 4 years, let's say 10 years, they are going to give it to you with like, and they are going to help you to do it, to achieve it in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months.
100%.
So you are not paying for someone else for 1 month. You are not paying for 3 months. You are paying for 10 years lifetime that they have learned. You are paying for the lifetime that they have experienced this, they have learned this skill. So that's what
Yeah.
self-investment means. If you are giving money, if you want to invest in yourself, do not look at it like, okay, I am getting a coach to teach me this and to achieve this in 3 months. Some people don't appreciate it. If you are
Mm,
hiring someone, you are not just hiring a person, you are hiring a person that has a lot of experience. They are
mm,
teaching you something that they did it in a long time, so you have to appreciate it. One of the other things that I
yes.
always say, if you don't appreciate those people that if you don't appreciate your coach, someone else won't appreciate you as a coach.
Wow.
Yes,
Hmm.
the way you are treating your coach, that's the way you will be treated tomorrow by your client. Exactly, that's the way how you will be treated. So self-investment is like hiring someone, buying someone's experience, buying someone's mind, knowledge. So that's why it's very important. Just don't look at it like it's like something I buy a course. No, it's not a course. It's experience, it's knowledge. It's like years of lifetime.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't agree with this more. I think I've said that a million times by now, but it's true. And all I can say is you're not only buying experience and you're shortening the learning curve, you're going to get the result much faster, but you're also buying a sense of urgency. And I think that's just as important
Exactly.
because money is the greatest form of commitment, right? We all know that. Like when you put your money to something, you're likely to get it done because we value money. Right. At the end of the
Yes.
day, we want to make more money. So if we're going to spend our money, then of course we want to take action on that and make the most of it. So, when I invested, even though it sounds small, when I invested my first $500 as a college student, it was a lot for me. And that gave me the sense of urgency to finally overcome like 20 years of procrastination. I'd been struggling with that for so long. And if you asked me before, Leah, did you want to overcome it? I tell you, yes, of course. Right? I was so tired of it, but I just didn't have that push until I put my money where my mouth was, right? I said I want to, and I finally committed monetarily, and then I saw results because I took it seriously.
Yeah.
So I think even because of this reason, to have that sense of urgency, investing in yourself is so worth it.
Yeah, that's that I can't agree more. like about that.
Yeah.
The reason why I say this is because you reminded me of something with my coach. Back to the time when I started my coaching business with David Ray. I took a program with Sam Ovens. He owns consulting.com. And then I started my program, like my coach is David Ray. He's great. He's killing it in what he does. So I remember I was procrastinating, and it was not like I was procrastinating, because procrastination is about fear and stress and a lot of things that we could talk about in another time, another live. But it was something like I was dealing with a lot of things in my life, and I was trying to balance everything and do my work. So one day, the reason why it's very important, I'm getting to a point, the reason why it's very important to hire a coach, it's that you are getting an accountability partner, but the accountability partner should not be someone at the same level as you, should be someone higher than you, which is a coach. I got that, and I was trying to deal with a lot of things by that time. One day I told him, and he said, I don't like what you say. He said this. He called me on, I think it was on WhatsApp or on Instagram. He called me like on 5 minutes call, 5 minutes only. He said, Hazel, do not give time to anyone who does not give you money. I was like, oh my God. That time I knew who are those people I want to spend time with? Who are those people I don't want to spend time with? That takes a lot. I sat down and I thought about it too deep. That was too deep, actually. So that helped me so much. So that is why it's very important to actually get an accountability partner, to get a coach.
100%.
Yeah. So that helped me. So that helped me actually to start working so hard. And by the next few months, I made a lot of money.
I can totally agree with you. I mean, for me, I joined a high-level mastermind. I think it was end of last year, 2021. It was a 15K investment for me. That was huge. That was like what I'd save up maybe in a month, 2 months of starting my business. And so it was a big investment for me. And when I dropped it, it was like just every nerve in my body was tingling. It was so tight. I was excited. I just felt this rush throughout me, right? For the next few months, I went full speed and it came back. Of course, the money part that came back because I took massive action. And that's what it's about. It's about hiring someone who's a few steps ahead of you, or many steps, depends on you, but at least a few steps, and having them hold you accountable and wanting to make them proud, looking up to them, so that every week you push yourself to get better and show them the results, right? And I see that with my current clients too. It's like they want to come on our coaching calls and say, yeah, Leah, I did implement this, what we talked about last week. That's so powerful. Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
Great. I really liked your story too, because you started at an early age, and at that age, I really appreciate you doing that. By that age, I was dealing with a lot of things in my life. I was dealing with a lot of problems with society, with family, but I'm grateful for every experience I've had. But I remember I didn't have the courage to do a lot of things that I had the courage by let's say, by my 26, when I became 26, 25, 26. So you had the courage to do that by that time. And that's very big. I really appreciate that.
Of course. Yeah. So for me, let me tell you guys, I used to suffer from like social anxiety. I was honestly a really shy person because I had this extreme fear of judgment, but it was really when I found my mentor, I felt enlightened. I saw someone who had achieved what I want. He was just 1 year older than me. So I just thought to myself, look, if he can do it, I can do it too. And I'm not here to impress anyone. Like, no matter how hard I try, no matter how good of a person I am, how pure my heart is, there's still going to be haters, and I can't control that at all. So just forget about it, right? And I think something that really calmed my fear of judgment is now, whenever I talk about something, whenever I promote something, like whatever it is that I do, as long as I know my intentions are right, I'm doing this for a good purpose.
Exactly.
That's all that matters, right?
Exactly. I agree. One of the other things that came to my mind when you talking about your intention is have a strong why. Have a strong why when you start your business and when you want to achieve your goal. And if you are an entrepreneur, if you are watching this, if you are an entrepreneur, if you feel stuck, you want to achieve a goal, but you feel stuck, you can't achieve it, go back to your why. Go back to your why. Have a strong why to be able to push you every time you feel down. You have to have a strong why. And for this, I recommend an exercise, which is like going 7 times deep down to your why. Ask yourself, what is my why? Write it down and then ask yourself, why this? Another why. This is the second time. 7 times ask yourself why I want to do this. And the last time, the 7th time, should be your true why. If it is not, then this is not what you have to do. You have to go and look for something that you have a strong why for. I have had times that I felt very, very low, that I didn't have any money. Even when I had a business, I didn't have any money in my pocket, in my bank account. I had no one to support me because obviously all my family was against me starting this business. I have been going through some hard time with them previously. Before that, I had no one to support me. But when you have a strong why, you don't give up. You don't give up even though there's no one to support you. So have a strong why.
I love that. Yeah. Do you mind sharing your why quickly? Or if it's too personal, that's also fine.
Well, one of my, I have a why. I don't want to share a lot, but one of the strongest thing I have was changing the life of people around me, my family, and those who didn't believe in change. Those who said, okay, that's impossible, because I was in a society, everyone was disappointed. No one believed in changing, in living this life that I'm living right now. And no one did actually believe in the life I want to live. So changing the life for those people, not just for myself, but I want to prove it to them. Hey, this is what you can do, even though regardless of your nation, of your society, of anything, of the time, of location, regardless of any of these things, you can change your life. So I want to motivate young people in my society, because I know they are so disappointed. Because, okay, if I mention Iraq, which is I'm a part of Iraq. I was born in a part of Iraq, which is Kurdistan. It was more safe and like it was better than the south part of it. But if I mention Iraq for anyone, what comes to their mind is like war, explosion, terrorism, right? So this is what comes to people's mind. The reality is not like that. So I want to prove, regardless of your location, the place that you were born in, you can change your life. You can do it. You can be whoever you want to be. So I want to be a big example for those people who are disappointed. I changed my life. I changed people's life.
I love that. I mean, that's so deep. So now I understand the 7 levels. You definitely practice that. So for me, I could share my why. It's a bit simple, but nonetheless, it definitely pushes me on. It started with my parents, because even though you could say, like, my family, we might be in a rather comfortable situation now, it wasn't always that way. My father, he grew up on a farm with 6 siblings. His dad died very early with cancer. And so life was really tough. Like, there were days when they would go hungry. You know, it was really, really tough. You had to take on responsibility when he was 6, 7 years old at the farm. And then because he wanted to build a better future for himself and also for my grandmother, his mom, you know, given that my grandfather, his dad had passed away so early, he wanted to take care of his mom, right? And so he decided, I need to leave the small farm, the small town, and do something bigger. So he took on like really dangerous jobs, now that I think about it, just seeking opportunity, because back then opportunity was scarcer, right? There was no internet. It's not that he could just open his phone and start an online business like we have today. So he went to places like Africa, like almost got shot, right? Terrifying experiences, just trying to build a future for himself. And for my mom, it was something similar. She grew up in communist China. Back then, it's like food was rationed out. You couldn't just buy food. People didn't have money, first of all. And even if you wanted to, everything was limited, right? Oh, you have 3 people in your family? Well, then you get 3 eggs per day, for example. So coming from that, and her parents working at factories, like really grueling hours, and just hearing all her childhood stories, that really pushes me to give my all. Because it's like, if my parents work that hard to get from 0 to 100, I don't want to just eat off of what they've built. I want to keep on building that legacy. That's number 1. That's how it started. And then number 2, now that I'm helping so many clients every week, we've got new people joining us. I feel this really deep sense of responsibility of I need to walk the talk, right? I can't be saying one thing and doing the opposite. I need to say one thing and do exactly that. So that's a huge one for me too. Yeah, I want to lead by example.
That's
Yes.
great. That's
So then
amazing. I
appreciate that.
congratulate you coming from here to there to here. I really congratulate you. And whenever I hear stories, I really appreciate it, because that is something that is like, when I hear it, I appreciate it. I'm not just listening to a story. I make that as a motivation for me too. Even other people's story, I make it as a motivation, like for me to push me. Yeah, people live that life. I say people live that life, appreciate yours right now. People have lived that life, and there are so many others that they are living that life right now. So appreciate yours. So yeah, I really appreciate it.
100% awesome. Well then, Hazel, why don't we wrap this up with some advice? Like, what about summarizing one advice based on how to invest in yourself for people who are feeling stuck, and also one good habit to start with? What would you say?
If I say one good habit to start with is actually, let me say, okay, I have not mentioned this before, but I will mention it right now. One good habit that you have to start with as an entrepreneur, if you want to be an entrepreneur and if you want to be successful, change your environment, change your circle, which is very important. Change your circle, because that's a long-term thing. That's not just for now. That's a long-term thing, but it will help you. How? You are the average of 5 people you spend the most time with. If you want to be successful, surround yourself with more successful people. If you want to make $10,000 per month, please do not get advice from someone who's making $500 per month. Get advice from someone who's making $10,000 per month. Get advice from someone who's making $20,000 per month. So surround your circle is very, very important. This is one of the other things. One of the habits. One more thing that I would say I would recommend is actually focus on the system rather than the goal. Because if you focus on the system, if you have a good system in hand in front of you, your goal will be achieved eventually, and you will detach yourself from the feeling, from just thinking about your result, and you from feeling overwhelmed, from feeling stressed just about the result. Have a good system, have a good program. Just if you want to make $10,000 per month, have a good program, have a strong why for it. You will achieve it, I promise.
I love that. Those 2 points. Wow. Environment. Yeah, we didn't even talk about that. There's so much more we could talk about, but guys,
exactly.
We've only got an hour. So definitely environment. Like as Hazel said, you're definitely the average of the people you spend the most time with. For me, that is why I invest in high level masterminds, because I don't want to be with people who are at the same level or perhaps a few steps behind me. I want to surround myself as much as possible with people who are steps ahead of me, right? So definitely, like being the smallest fish in the pond, don't see it as a bad thing, see it as a good thing, because then you're going to grow into a bigger fish, right? Just an analogy there. But anyway, what I'd say is the advice I'd give is just invest in one program at a time. And when you're choosing a program, a mentor, like just think about where you want to be, right? If you're not sure what high income skill you want to develop, just think about what's the first thing you want to learn. Start with one, right? As long as you're interested in it, just learn it, go all in, learn it, and then it's going to lead to the next, right? I've got friends who, they start by investing into, let's say, a business coaching program. They want to start their own coaching program, but then they realize, this is actually not for me, but I can become an appointment setter for this coach that I invested in. And then they went and did that. And then they came back to coaching, helping people then become appointment setters themselves, right? I'm just thinking of one example here. So starting is most important, because once you get into this online world, your eyes are going to open up. You're going to see there's opportunity everywhere. Everywhere. So just start, invest in one mentor first and go all in, master that one skill, and then move on to the next. And don't be afraid of, oh, is this the right skill for me? Because you're going to find that out.
Okay? Exactly. We didn't know. I didn't know what was my thing. As I said, the first thing I started was I started Forex. I still do Forex, but I have friends and team work on that. I don't do it because I found out that that's not for me, that I don't love it, but I invest in it. I have a team and that's it. I did drop shipping and affiliate marketing. I did a lot of things when I started. You never know what is the right thing for you when you
Yeah.
start. You will figure that out. Just start and promise yourself not to give up. Just when you don't succeed in one, do not say, okay, this is not for me. This is not for me. No, this is for you, but you have to figure that out. So get a coach that can help you with getting clarity. Clarity is very important.
Absolutely, for sure. Okay, so I think we gave a ton of tips there. Please,
Exactly.
guys, implement something you learned today. Okay, because information is meaningless without execution. Don't think just because you've been here for the last hour that things are going to change automatically. It would be great if that was the case, but it's not, right? You got to take action. So take action on just one thing that we told you about today, whether that's a habit or going online right now and searching up a mentor who you can maybe hire to help you acquire a skill, right? High income skill. And Hazel, do we have any comments, any questions right now that we can answer?
We have questions. We have comments. A lot of comments. We have Kat.
Hey, what's up, Kat?
So yeah, he said yes, and hello everyone. Edmund, and we have a lot of comments, but no questions so far. Okay, let me see. Hi everyone, for everyone who's watching us, if you have a question, you can just write down any question you have. We will be happy to answer you here.
Yes. Please ask, guys.
Yes. Any question? I'm more than happy to answer. Just like you said, do one thing, one of those things that we mentioned. I promise that was so great, Leah. You know, if they start with just doing the morning routine, I promise they will be making $10,000 per month. If they start by changing their circle, their environment, they will be making that. They will be they will be motivating them to change it. That's another thing. If they going to invest in a coach, they will be making it. So any one of those things will help you to do. Just do one of them. Take action and do one of them. And if you do all of them, that will be great. You will be making $10,000, I'm sure, next month.
All right, beautiful. So do we have any questions, guys? Would love to help you guys out, answer any questions. And look, if you have a question on your mind right now, but you're just hesitating to type it, you'll think, oh, I'll ask it later. Let me tell you something that also made a huge impact in my life, which was the opportunity. Oh, wait, how did it go again? Oh my gosh, it slipped my mind. The opportunity of a lifetime only lasts the lifetime of the opportunity. Let me say that again.
Wow.
The opportunity of a lifetime only lasts the lifetime of the opportunity. Wow. Opportunities, they're going to come and go. Even though this seems like something small, just asking a question right now, that is an opportunity and it only lasts right now where we're on the live. So if there's anything on your mind, ask.
Yeah, exactly. If you have any question, if you have anything in your mind, just don't hesitate. Ask us, ask me, ask Leah. We are happy to answer. And for everyone who's watching this, my friends, just give me 1 minute, sorry.
No worries. I mean, we can wrap up here if there are no questions. And last thing is, guys, if you found today's live to be super helpful, feel free to, of course, share it with your friends. You guys can always watch the replay. But also, if you were looking for a mentor and you feel like Hazel and I might actually be a good fit, I focus more on the time management, the habits aspect. Hazel, can you talk about what you focus most on?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Oh yeah, no worries. So I was just saying, we talked about the importance of mentorship, right?
Yes.
You should always have a mentor in your life. And so if you guys feel like after this live training, hey, I want to improve on my mindset, my habits, my routines, then you can, of course, reach out to us, either Hazel or I, or both of us, right? We're more than happy.
Exactly.
So Hazel, can you explain what you mostly focus on, just so people are clear on the difference between what each of us have to bring to the table?
Okay, so what I focus on is actually, I have a 2-3 different types of program. It just depends on the requirement, like what someone needs when they reach out to me. I focus on mind. I help entrepreneurs to master their time, their performance by mastering their mind first, their habits, their time, their energy. 4 things that I focus on: mind, habits, time, and energy. I have 3 months program and I have 6 months program. But as I mentioned, it depends on what someone needs. It's either some entrepreneurs reach out to me and they need only 1 month program. They only want to work on their time management. They only want to work on the energy management, for example. So I just give them session according to the requirement. But I personally have 1 month, 3 month, and 6 months program.
For sure. Okay, I love that. So I can talk about what I mainly focus on, just so you guys know the difference. You can reach out to whoever you feel like might be the best fit, or both of us. Again, we don't bite. We're very nice humans, so don't be afraid. I focus most on the morning routine. That's a big one. Okay, how to nail that down and understand what your 3 most important tasks are every day and tackle those first. Like eliminate all distractions in the morning, especially. Okay, think about you being in laser focus mode, working 2 times faster. That's one. Second one is overcoming procrastination. That is a big focus in my program, not my procrastination, overcoming procrastination. And the third one I'd say is the hard stop. Something we emphasize too in our program is not only working hard and making the most of your time, but also having a clear time every day to end all your work so that you can relax.
I love it.
Find that when you have this clear balance between the time when you work super hard and you're focused and you're balancing time off and you have plenty of both, you're going to feel so much more fulfilled. So if you guys struggle with any of those, again, please reach out to Hazel and I. We'll be more than happy to help you out. And yeah, any other
let me just add one point, that the reason why it's very important to have that hard stop at the end of your day. If you don't, I promise you, you are going to experience burnout the next few months. So that's why it's very important to do that. And if you want to focus on that, reach out to Leah. I love her. She's very motivated. I love her for that.
Thank you, Hazel. I mean, I can only say the same about Hazel. She's been an absolute angel. We've done a few trainings together, and I'm sure that she does a great job too. So whoever you guys feel is a good fit, or both of us, we'd love to hop on a call with you. And yeah, guys, again, take action on what you learned today. Okay, that would make us the happiest people, the happiest coaches in the world, just to see you take action and get results. So yeah, those are my departing words. Do you have anything else to say, Hazel? If not, we can wrap this up.
Yeah, thank you so much again for having me. It is a great honor for me to be here with you. Every time I come on like any session or any podcast, we have this podcast together and we have this live together. Every time I feel a lot more energy, and I feel like I'm even learning from you, and I'm sharing what I have. So it's a great pleasure for me to be here with you. Thank you so much for having me again. And if there's no question from people, we have no, we don't have. So no, I don't have anything else. I wish you all the best.
Yes, guys. And I always like to leave with this. Remember, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So whatever it is you're about to do next, treat it with excellence. Okay, don't half-ass things. Treat it with excellence, and that's going to spill into every other area of your life. Okay,
Great.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
We'll wrap it up here. Bye, guys.